and namaste. Welcome to Asamanya Ordinary People Inordinate Journey. I'm your host and host Smita Iyengar, and I'm connecting to you from Finland. So today on Asamanya, we have yoga teacher, coffee painting artist, okay, and an illustration expert, okay. And what else? Let's find out from her. And she is also my partner in crime. She does a lot of astrological videos with me. You might have seen her on a few of my shows also. And she is my yoga teacher as well. So let's welcome Sandhya Iyengar on the show today. Hi, Sandhya. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Smita. Thank you so much.
Yeah, how have you been doing? I was just about telling, the audience of Asamanya that we have done so many things together, and you have been my partner in crime on the other channel. So yeah, not needed, like not big introduction needed because quite known face, and but still, on my part, I wanted to introduce you as my yoga teacher, Sandhya Iyengar.
Thank you so much, Smita, for considering me to be partner in crime and as well as for this episode.
Yeah. So Sandhya, to begin with, we all know you as the yoga teacher, and with of course many other layers. We'll definitely talk about the illustrations and the coffee painting and everything. So now, if I have to ask you, why yoga and why did it begin at the first place?
Okay, long story, but I'll make it very short. Um, we do not have kids.
Okay.
I was having this issue, PCOD,
Yeah.
and along with that, I was not emotionally well.
Mm-hmm.
My emotional well being was disastrous. I
Okay.
was devastated because the society always pokes you about what you do not have or what you lack. So we were going to different doctors to
Yeah.
get treated, and I don't want to name the doctor, but the doctor like really, you know, damaged my life
Mm-hmm.
without having any test done. She simply put me on injection
Mm-hmm.
and many hormonal pills. Collectively, that caused me so much of hazard
Right.
health wise,
Yeah.
where my left half of the body used to have a pinprick 24 bar 7, only
Mm-hmm.
the left half.
Only the left half. Okay.
Yes, from head to toe. And that's such a painful thing. Like, I do not wish that to anyone.
True.
In medical terms, it's called peripheral neuropathy, but this is
Mhm.
associated with depression as well, my condition.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I got to know after 4 months of this condition.
Conditions. Okay.
Most of the doctors could not help. They did run all sort of tests, but only to say, don't know what's happening, what is the
Okay.
condition.
Right. Yeah.
And finally, a neurologist who happens to be my relative, she finally diagnosed and she helped me with the condition, and which led me to taking antidepressants for 8 long years.
8 years. My God. Okay.
Yes. And in this due course of time, she and I have another friend who is an Ayurvedic doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them recommended start practicing yoga.
Right. Right.
That's like it dates back to 2016.
Okay.
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 Before that, I hardly knew anything about yoga,
Mm-hmm.
and I found someone near my home,
Mm.
and I started going to the practice without knowing anything. All I knew was, okay, yoga will help me.
Right. Right.
That's the only thing. And my teacher helped me. I practiced under her for about 5 years, close to 5 years. In that period, someday I felt like, okay, I do not want to lose the track
Mm-hmm.
because by then I had already understood the benefits.
Yeah.
I was calm and I could manage my condition better.
Okay.
my anxiety, depression, the panic attacks, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to manage better.
Okay.
So I did not want to lose the track. By end of fifth year, COVID happened.
Oh, yeah, true, true, true.
And she had to change her class timings, all of that, where I had to stop my practice.
Okay.
And one fine day, it so happened, I came across uh, one of the mail where it said you
Mm-hmm.
can practice or do teacher training course, basically.
Okay.
Not practice, a teacher training
Teach
course.
trainings. Okay.
So I was like, okay, I didn't see it coming so soon. I had wished for. But why don't I give it a try?
Yeah, true.
It has come to my, it has knocked my door. So why don't?
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay, I called the institute. It's in Rishikesh.
Okay.
I call and I'm like, okay, I join.
Right.
And rest is history.
It's actually very nice to know because you always hit a point where you want some solution somehow, and when you start to find solace in that solution, it's like it's the best thing that can happen to you. And I think that is exactly what you're talking about. Like you got into yoga and it was like perfect for you.
I would say I did not choose yoga, but yoga chose me.
Yeah,
I
absolutely,
mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
I
So,
had no clue in my life that, okay, I would ever
mm,
get into yoga any day.
yeah, true.
So I believe that yoga chose me.
Yeah, actually, I have this question on mind which always pops up, it's like these yoga courses, right? Yoga courses, I have seen many courses online when I try to join or when I try to do something about it. So what I see is 1 month course, 2 month course, and 6 months course. But I I mean, is it just that they teach you something and then on you can practice yourself, or do you need a teacher all along, or you can see the YouTube videos and practice? Now, what is the theory behind this? I just wanted to understand this one.
Okay. First thing, please do not practice by seeing videos on YouTube or
Yeah.
any media or platform like that, because you have to, like, we have to customize the practice for each individual. Each body is different, their
Absolutely.
fitness levels are different.
Mm.
So there are many factors. Okay.
Yeah.
Yoga is for all. What we say is, although we all know that there are 12 steps in Surya Namaskara,
Mm.
but the same person, like one person, cannot do like it. You cannot imitate. Okay,
Yeah.
based on your breath, each posture, the
Mm.
holding time, how you move, all that will change.
Yeah.
So, watching the videos and doing, you will not even understand the alignment or breath work.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That can actually, it can cause some harm, like cramp, or you cannot breathe properly, and
Yeah.
there is no benefit out of it because you don't know.
True. True. True.
Those who have practiced for a very long time, you can watch it for reference. That is what I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And coming to the yoga course part, yes, today we know 200 hour, like it happens
Yeah.
in 1 month, 2 month, and some offer for 6 months, like diploma course. The thing is, they will teach you the basics,
Mm.
okay? But not that, okay, you study for 1 month or 2 month and it's done. No, you have to keep learning. You have to if you want to
Yeah.
learn or
Mm.
deepen your practices, then definitely you have to practice
Yes.
under some other teacher once in a while, say at least once in a year. You definitely have to go to a teacher and
Mm.
improve your practice, or at least practice for yourself, because in this race of teaching, somewhere we do not get time,
Mm.
or we do not have the energy to do our practice.
Yeah. True.
So it becomes very important that you go to a teacher and practice and keep
Okay.
learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that like in a month you'll be able to do, no. And I have seen many people, those who have not practiced yoga,
Hmm.
and they join, they do 1 month course, and of course they start doing classes.
Yeah.
Some
True.
of them are really good, but some of them they do not know, like prior to taking this teaching course, somewhere they lose that essence.
Right.
So, what I feel is at least one should be practicing for some time before getting into the teacher training course, especially a 1 month course.
Mm.
If you are doing it for 6 months, then you will get enough time to learn, understand,
Yeah.
even practice. But if you are getting into this 1 month course, then I would say please don't do that.
Yeah, because that is the trend now, like everybody wants results fast. Everything is fast, and instantly they want to see the results. Instantly they want everything to be done. So perhaps that's the reason they are coming up with this kind of, like the courses or the process also, which is making people to jump into it instantly. Or yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I totally understand. And I'm seeing many people who are doing that.
Mm.
But again, it's up to, the teacher and the student who is learning and
Yeah.
how they are trying to make themselves better.
True.
So that is what matters.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, I wanted to ask you about this coffee painting. It sounds interesting, actually, because coffee, I'm a coffee lover to drink, of course, but the painting is, the painting part is quite interesting to hear and to listen to it itself. So, what exactly do you do with the coffee painting?
See, first of all, we need a nice decoction or
Yeah.
concoction, whatever you call it. You can brew it or you can take instant coffee powder
Mhm.
and make a nice paste. Coffee painting is all about painting without milk and sugar in your coffee, which is black coffee
Black
basically.
coffee. Okay.
So you can, do. I mean, you can do the math and consistency thing.
Okay.
Okay,
So it's
you have,
almost like a pencil sketch, but then done with the coffee. Like single color, but different shades of the coffee.
monotone. It is monotone.
Okay.
The coffee is the as a solution.
Yeah.
Um, it's so versatile. It looks like acrylic also. It looks like water painting also.
Yeah, true.
So that's the beauty of it. And I was very curious to explore back then. I
Mm.
think it was in 2014 or 15.
Yeah, yeah.
So I heard somewhere and I like, let's see what is this because I've seen acrylic, watercolor paint and all
Yeah.
of that. I
Mm.
wanted to do something, try something different
Nice.
and learn on my own.
Yeah.
That's when I explored and discovered this coffee painting.
Mm.
The thing is, see, most of the paintings, like you can do the double stroke for darker shades, all of that. If something goes wrong, you can still, try to make it better either by wiping or do anything of that sort. But in coffee painting, it's not possible.
Yeah, true.
It's only one stroke. If you're doing two strokes, it's gone. So you have to be like really, really careful.
Yeah.
I have learned it over years,
Mm.
and it's beautiful medium any day.
You're right. It sounds interesting actually, and I would really like to try it sometime. Uh, but of course, I mean, I'm not very so like proficient with painting, but I just want to give it a try sometime if you can help me with it though. Yeah, so
Definitely.
this was about the coffee painting, but also I read about you, like you're doing this illustrations. And also, yeah, this is now your the fourth calendar year is out, and I mean the fourth calendar, the yearly calendar is out already, and they look so beautiful, I swear. I mean, it's like so pretty to look at. And the concept and the theme, and then like whatever comes out in that, it's so very like so much connected to our roots, so much about our childhood and all that. So, what makes you do these things, and what makes you bring those childhood memories into the calendars?
Thank you so much for having a look at my calendar. And yeah, the first thing is we always want to cherish our memories. Like when we look some children, we always go back in time, like, hey, our childhood was like this.
Mm.
But hardly we have time to tell stories to our children.
Yeah.
So always, this is one thought that has stuck in my mind. Like I have seen kids saying there are no bedtime stories, or my parents, both of them work, so they hardly get any time.
Right.
This
Right.
is just a simple way to connect to their childhood, or at least whenever they find time, looking
Yeah.
at the image, they can share. They can share it with friends, their parents, grandparents, children,
Yeah.
so that they'll have a happy time together, connecting with each other. So that's the main idea behind this.
Very interesting. And this year theme, I guess, is the food, which is like very interesting for me, of course.
Yes, yes. So yeah, last year it was the games. Prior to that, it was all 90s kids like the Chetak scooter, the cassette,
Yeah.
the WWF cards we used to play, the Mario,
Yeah.
all of that. So this time I thought, okay, let me get into this. So we used to have that 1 rupee or
Mm.
50 paise, and from like while coming back home, we
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
go to that petty shop and like halkova or that chikki.
Yeah.
That used to be the luxury of our lives.
Honestly, it is even now a luxury because even now, when I think about those things, I really miss those food and especially the lolly. And here recently, few months ago, I noticed this kind of, that lolly kind of thing, the juice filled in thing. But it's just that you have to take it and freeze it yourself at home. I was so happy. I
Okay.
was like so. I mean, I was like literally jumping. Okay, this is something we know, and this is what we have been having. And I just instantly took that, and then it was like really fun. So these are the things. I don't think these are available in many places now at all. Actually,
Yes, today we do not have petty shops or even
yeah,
kids going to shops. Like we do not find that kind of scene anywhere around us.
yeah, true.
So today, even to remember, it's a luxury
Yeah,
in this mechanical life where everybody is living in a time box. That's what
absolutely.
I call in a time box. Like there is a time frame. Even to take one extra breath, you have to be like, okay, the time is up. I have
Time
to
is
go.
yeah, exactly.
So that's the day or the life we are living in. So
Yeah,
this is one tribute to our childhood days and all the parents of our generation and our parents' generation, where they used to buy us the cotton candy or even those zoological biscuits or whatever.
yeah,
I just wanted the parents, children, all of them to have a story and laughter together, and
absolutely.
hence the theme.
Absolutely. They're actually wonderful to look at. And, on what basis do you actually decide these things? And how do you make those illustrations? Do you draw them? Do you sketch them? Or, it's like done digitally? And how is it being done? The process of it is what I'm trying to understand. Because,
Yeah, yeah.
when people look at it, they should not just say, this is so simple. You can put it in the paint and then, download some images and then you could make a calendar of your own. So, how exactly do you work with the process is what we wanted to understand.
Okay. First of all, it takes at least, say, 10 months of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Soon after we come to an end of first month of the year,
Mm.
I'd be thinking, okay, what theme?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I have like two or three friends where I kind of discuss with them what can I do this time or this. If I have an idea, I'll ask them, is this okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then based on that theme, we start writing. I
Yeah.
start writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then among that, the 12 is shortlisted.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. So,
We have 12 months, so 12.
so how many have you
And
discarded?
then uh, I think there are 10 or 15 more.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. this happens every year
Yeah,
with respect to the theme. So after the shortlisting, then I'll be like, okay, sometimes, I need reference images, which I'll check for sometimes. Sometimes I become the reference, my husband becomes reference, my friends become reference.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, because these are nostalgic things you do not get to see
yeah,
visionary,
yeah,
we do not have any references.
absolutely.
So this is how I try to get my reference. And then first I do this sketching in
Yeah,
my iPad, and then I draw completely and do and check the detailing, everything. It takes a lot of time. And then
I
how much
totally
big the
understand.
calendar should be, the margin, align everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So almost till October or mid of November, the process will be on. And once the drawings are done,
Mm.
then I come to the part of writing the caption, the
Okay.
taglines.
Yeah,
And again, that I'll discuss with the same friends and we come up with, okay, how this can connect. It should be a little funny,
true,
the
true.
moment you read it, you should feel connected or you should laugh or you should feel happy.
Yeah,
So again, that's the main thing here. And they are helping all the while. And this time also they help.
absolutely.
And we finalize the caption also. There also comes up like three or four captions.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll be like, okay, which is the best, which
Yeah,
sounds like really cute and nice. And then we finalize the tagline and then write.
nice.
So this is the process. After that, I go to a print shop and get it done, get the draft copy,
Yeah.
check if everything is right, the line, all of that. Then the actual like
The,
putting it out
yeah.
and promoting starts. So this is the
Okay.
process.
Yeah, it sounds quite interesting and actually quite tedious of a job, like if you have to start already, like this calendar year, okay, first month is over and you're already started to plan the year ahead. So,
Yeah, because it takes time.
true, I
It's
get it.
not that see if you are a student who
Mm,
is completely into it, or
mm,
you have done a course, or you already have a theme, or everything is
true,
there,
true.
then it is bit easier, I would say.
Yeah,
But I'm more of a hobby person. It's more of a hobby to me.
true.
And I'm not trained in any of these like drawing
Nice.
illustration forms.
Okay.
So that way it is even more, difficult. But I don't want to give up because I enjoy this journey and I love to do it. So
Yeah, it's actually coming out really well. And like I said, this is the fourth
thank you.
calendar which is out, and it's like looking so pretty. And the taglines, like you mentioned, "Crush ke kodve ko" is something I noticed.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah. The moment you are
genuine.
in a
Yeah,
teenage,
yeah. And
you will be like,
with this, I wanted to ask you, how do the Gen Z react to it? Because, are they able to connect? Because these are mostly like, the 90s era and the 80s era people. For them, it is probably more relatable and we instantly connect with it. But how do you think, are you able to target the newer generations, are they coming forward for this or how is it going?
Gen Zs, they are not directly connected. Some of them are aware of it.
Hmm.
Those who have lived in, smaller towns or cities, they sort of connect to it. But rest of the kids,
Hmm.
they easily do not connect.
Hmm.
But parents who are willing to, or who usually keep talking about their childhood days,
Yeah.
their kids are connecting.
Okay.
Recently, I met one of those, and the kid was so much interested and excited to look into the calendar, and he's like,
Mm.
"What is this? What is this?" And few he could understand, like just by looking into the picture, he could, "Oh, this is the thing Mama said. Mama told me about this,"
Okay.
and he was looking into it like again and again. I was like, "Okay, not bad, man,"
Yeah, yeah.
there'll be a sense of okay, what if how the Gen Zs will take, or
Mm.
when their parents will tell them the stories or show these pictures, how do they react?
Yeah.
But I was like surprised and I was very happy looking.
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
reaction of the kid.
true. Very interesting, actually. So, Sandeep, we have to jump back to yoga now. Uh,
Mhm.
there are like so many modalities of yoga which are coming up now, right? There are so many layers to it. So, what do you think about the new gen yoga or the beer yoga, fantasy yoga, this yoga, that yoga? What do you think about these?
Um, I would say these are all marketing gimmicks. But there is nothing called beer yoga, wine yoga, beach yoga.
Mama
Like there are
yoga
so
also
many
now.
names.
I think for the new mothers and babies, I think they're doing the mama yoga and something. Yeah,
There is something called postnatal, prenatal yoga.
yeah,
That is there. But these are all like the beer yoga thing, hot yoga, all these are just a fancy name,
yeah,
and there is nothing like that. If Patanjali Muni would be here, I don't know what he would have done. He would be like, why did I even,
yeah. Give it a
give this treasure to
yeah,
such kind of people where they are ruining the names?
yeah.
So, no, there are no such yoga.
So, what are actually the layers or the modalities of yoga, which is the legit ones, if I can ask?
We have eight limbs. That's what Ashtanga yoga.
Ashtanga yoga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yama, Niyama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Asana, Pranayama, Dhyana, Samadhi.
Okay.
Okay. These are the layers where asana is one of the limbs of yoga.
Yeah. 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 But I think that
So
is
it's
what is
not simply asanas.
yeah. Yeah.
But today, asanas are the face of yoga.
Okay, but actually, I wanted to tell you one more thing now. This is like this also, where they say it is like yoga poses, not even asanas. Yoga poses, and then the procedure of getting to that pose is not followed. Like you just make the pose and then that's been a very popular thing, like to for a couple pictures and or for best friend pictures, they actually do those yoga poses and they click pictures. Actually, my daughters were doing it, so I was like, what are these doing then? They're like, no, this is not how you do it. And I tried to explain, but their logic was they just get to the pose somehow. It doesn't matter what they're doing to get there. And then they want pictures in those poses. Now that is called yoga poses. This is something very new that has come up.
But that is so wrong because in the urge of just getting into some posture, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even call them poses. Okay, the posture, they are not understanding how their body works,
Mm.
and chances of harming themselves or hurting themselves is very high
Okay. Yeah.
because in yoga, the alignment and breathing, these two are the key factors.
Mm.
If alignment goes wrong, then you will be putting pressure on the wrong muscle.
Right.
Okay. Any posture you do, I mean, any asana you do, your body weight has to be balanced
Hmm.
on four limbs. If you're standing on two limbs, means our legs. If you're, doing like Adho Mukha Svanasana, then
Yeah.
four
Yeah.
limbs.
True.
So your body weight has to be balanced on all four limbs. So
Okay.
just
Yeah.
getting into the posture somehow is totally wrong, what I believe.
Yeah, because that has been, like trending, like you said. So it's
It has become like जो दिखता है वो बिकता है.
दिखता है.
So
Absolutely, absolutely. I think with many things, many forms, or the many Indian ancient, I can say maybe yoga, meditations, and whatever. So these are what are selling. That's about it. So you
And that way, the essence, I mean, we are missing or they are losing on its essence
mm,
of the form. And that is very bad.
yeah, yeah,
but honestly, Smita, yoga ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು layers ಇದೆ. And
mm,
coming to Yoga Sutra also,
yeah,
they are so important. Andre, people who could not read Upanishad, Veda,
mm,
Bhagavad Purana, all of that, all are compiled in Yoga Sutra. And
yeah,
if someone reads Yoga Sutra and understands and tries to follow,
Mm.
that is more than enough, Patra.
Okay. So Sandhya, you are talking about the eight limbs of yoga, like the Ashtanga yoga, that you mentioned. So, what are actually the eight limbs? I mean, what does it like correlate to, and where is it coming from, and where does it go to? So, what's the story behind this?
Okay, if for example, like let's uh, take an example of a sage or a
Mm,
muni.
mm.
They used to do tapas.
Yeah, true.
Okay, they used to sit for years.
Yeah,
How was that possible?
yeah,
Right? The question arises like, how is it possible?
yeah.
And for that, you need all these layers.
Okay,
For
okay.
someone to go there or
Right.
even do that,
Yes.
you need asanas, pranayama,
Okay.
dhyana,
Okay.
okay? And you have to follow yama, niyama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yama, niyama beautifully explains how one should be in life. It
Okay.
talks about non-violence,
Nice.
no stealing,
Okay.
okay? Uh, it talks about each part of your life,
Mm.
how one should be leading life
Yeah.
so that you you can reach higher levels.
Yeah.
So here, this is what I mean. The layers of yoga talks about all these, the philosophy
Mm.
of life,
Mm-hmm.
why one should do pranayama or dhyana.
Yeah.
And there is one thing called Yoga Sutra. That is what Patanjali Muni has written.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
And these sutras beautifully explain all of this. For example, I hear something about me that someone told to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and that person comes and tells. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, should I take that information? Should I have any impact
Mm-hmm.
because I heard something?
Right. That's true.
So, how you have to process any information
Mm.
before you even taking it in.
Right.
So, the to this extent,
Mm-hmm.
Patanjali Muni has given us the sutras, how to
Okay.
process, filter, and understand.
Mm. Correct.
So, this is how like they have assembled everything
Mm-hmm.
that is important for our life.
Yeah.
Yoga should not be something for your physical fitness or something like that. It should be a part of your life.
Yeah. True.
Hence we call that yoga is a lifestyle.
Mm.
It's not something extra that you have. I mean, you should not be thinking that it is something extra that you're doing in life. It
Absolutely.
has to be a part of life, just like your breakfast, lunch, dinner, sleep,
Yeah. 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 So I
because
think.
it gives you the necessary tools for a happy, contentful life.
Yeah, true. So because it makes so much sense, right? I mean, whatever, in my opinion, whatever our ancestors did, or whatever they ate, or whatever practices they followed, they all had a meaning. But as and when it got transferred to generations after generations, it has just, like filtered, and then what we have is like something, something just like this. So,
Correct, correct. See, it takes care of your physical well-being, mental well-being,
yeah,
personal life, professional life, like how you
absolutely.
have to be in a society. It takes care of everything. Just that you have to look into it and understand and learn and practice.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. Th- well, I have to ask you another question now. This brings to me, like about the mudras. How effective are they? And then what are the, like what is the reason you do, like you do some mudra and this and I have seen many people actually give these mudras out as astrological remedies also. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that was like totally out of the blue. But then, yeah, I have seen that with many people who do that. And they actually don't even know what it means. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they are just doing, I think, which one was it? Was it this or something? Was it Kubera Mudra? So, Kubera Mudra, if you do, you will get money. Now, that is what they're selling this as. So, I was like, okay, I can hold my hand, both hands. I can do it with my feet also. If I'm gonna get money, I'll by doing this.
Okay, okay. So the mudras are the gestures, okay?
Yeah.
Basically, it's a seal. You
Mm,
make a seal, you know?
mm,
You form a circuit.
yeah.
Okay. We have energy is like Pancha Mahabhuta, the five elements in our path.
Mm, yeah.
So when we activate those energies based on the conditions,
Yeah.
that will do the job.
Okay.
Like for example, I keep saying this Mahashir's Mudra for headache.
Okay.
Your headache could be because of any reason. It could
Mm,
be migraine, like
yeah.
you kept watching, you know, screen time was more, you were hungry, whatever the reason could be.
Mm-hmm.
But that mudra simply takes care of your head.
Okay.
Like the moment you hold the mudra, see, this is what Mahashir's mudra. Okay. We
Okay.
call it Mahashir's mudra.
Okay.
So the moment you hold, you will already start sensing, okay, the pain is reduced a bit.
Mm,
They work instantly.
mm-hmm.
But if you have the conditions for like very long time, then you have to practice this regularly.
True.
Not that like when you do not have headache, you should not practice. One should know when to practice and when to not.
Yeah.
Some people are like, okay, I have this, I used to have this problem, so I do.
Yeah. True.
Some cases you have to do,
Yeah.
but not all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are like instantaneous
Mm,
and very handy. Like you don't have
yes.
to, search for medicine. I know. And these are not replacement for your medicine. Okay.
Mm,
But this will help you to maintain and manage better.
yeah.
You have a chronic condition and you say, I'll simply do mudra and I'll not take medicines. No, one should not do that mistake.
Mm,
By doing this, you will, alter the energy movement.
yeah. True. True. True.
And that's how you start feeling easy. You will be able to manage better
Yeah.
and things get better. The pattern in your brain that changes.
Yeah.
Instantaneous, but for some situations or conditions, you'll have to practice it to change
Yeah.
for better.
Correct.
So that's how these mudras work. I always say, dude, if you do not have medicine, then please at that moment practice mudra,
Yeah.
feel better. See, there are moments like you are somewhere outside and you do not get water at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
True.
we have Jala Mudra, okay?
Okay.
Varuna Mudra or Jala Mudra. So the moment you do, you don't feel thirsty anymore.
Ah. Okay. I think you should.
I mean, you can practice right away. You can simply hold and you can sense the more saliva in your mouth. If you do, just
Actually,
hold
yeah.
for a few seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what it does.
Okay.
Especially old people, like parents, grandparents, where they cannot practice these asanas
Yeah. Yeah.
or,
True.
any of this sort, they can really do this. Even for their arthritis, joints pain,
Yeah.
there
True.
is Sandhi Mudra, okay.
Mm-hmm.
For digestion, we have Apana Mudra.
Yeah.
And for heart conditions, like who has had a heart attack or a weak
Uh-huh.
heart,
Okay.
they can practice, Apanavayu Mudra,
Okay.
which we call as Sanjeevani Mudra.
Okay.
Who tends to have allergy quite often, they
Yes.
can
Yes.
practice Brahmara Mudra.
Okay.
So these mudras are like you can practice for longer time so
Mm.
that it gets better day by day.
True. True.
Yeah. So notice the condition and practice the respective mudra.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Absolutely interesting, Sandhya. This was such an informative session, I must say. And I'm really sad that I'll have to end this, but of course, I will definitely bother you more with,
Thank you.
like more questions. And before I wind up, the last question I want to ask you is, how did you feel and what do you think of me as a host?
Thank you so much, Smita, as a host. You're wonderful.
Thank you.
And I'm honored that, I was considered one to be one of the Asaman. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sandhya. All right, so that was Sandhya Iyengar on Asamanya Ordinary People in Ordinate Journey. I hope you all like this show, and next week we come here with another interesting story of another Asamanya. And till then, stay tuned and keep watching Asamanya on YouTube. And I'm your host and host, Smita Iyengar, connecting to you from Finland. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel. Bye.